Okay, so we're taking a look at the mandate here. So for anyone out there that's kind of a star exploration, space exploration kind of aficionado with the RPG elements, there's a lot of things that kind of scratch some of those itches, but nothing that kind of gives you the full, and I suppose the best example to use is Star Trek experience.
Yeah.
You guys are aiming to kind of cover that sort of base. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect as far as sort of features within the game.
Well, the core feature is exploring space as a captain and interacting with your crew. That was the big thing that we felt was missing in this genre, is having a crew say, "Captain, I have something to say about this," or having your science officer be skilled enough to help you, not just in dialogue options, but also help you in combat. And also having to protect that science officer during combat. You don't want to just jump right in, see a huge ship and try and destroy it. You're not just protecting your ship, you're also protecting the people inside.
Yeah. And I suppose that kind of creates a situation where it's akin to like watching the TV shows where it's like, oh, Mr. LaForge, you've come up and given me a suggestion on how to improve fuel efficiency so we can get to the next system or something like that.
Right.
You've got that same kind of vibe in here.
Yes.
So how is that going to play out across the entirety of the game? Like, as you progress with those individual members of your team, you're going to be getting sort of more paths through and more options towards your ultimate goal based around that?
Well, there is a single player campaign. I can't tell you the whole thing. I'm sure you guys want to find out as you play it. But your options will, similar to FTL, your options definitely guide how you end up going through the campaign. And if you're more interested in upgrading your gunnery officer than you are upgrading your medical officer, for example, that'll craft your experience. But also, those choices in the game are also analogous to building your ship to suit your own playstyle. So it is a craftable experience. We've built all these ships with all sorts of different modules that allow you to have a long range weapons or a lot more crew on your ship or a hangar bay or you name it. So I think that it is set up to allow people to kind of choose their path throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you just mentioned there is like the ability to create sort of a modular experience around different ships, and then you've got loads of different ships to play around with within each faction. So I suppose the thing that you're really expecting to see is that there's not going to be necessarily the same experience twice. You could have your multiple playthroughs where, this time I'm going to play this faction, but, I really want it to, soup up my firepower, but this time I'm going to be kind of peaceful trader, trade some technology sort of thing. Like, is that the kind of experience you're looking for, the replayability as well?
Absolutely. I think everyone's looking for that.
And then finally, like in terms of release window, I know you guys are a smaller team, and you're perhaps a little perfectionist, or you want to make sure that you've got a fantastic game to offer everyone, rather than just, well, it's kind of finished and you paid for it now, screw you.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at as far as projection for the future? When are we going to start being able to get our hands onto this title?
Well, hopefully next year if we meet our own internal deadlines. But again, we have adopted it'll be done when we're done with it. We're not laying around on a couch waiting for it to be done. We have our own internal deadlines, of course, and we're shooting for those. We want to get it out as fast as possible, but we also don't want to deliver a broken game.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes absolute sense. And then I think it should be somewhat apparent from what's behind, but we're shooting for like a PC release with this.
Yes.
Any other plans to go elsewhere with it? Do you think it would translate across to any other platforms?
The way that it's designed now, it's probably not going to translate to other platforms very well, just PC and Linux, and I think Mac as well. But as far as the way that you control, it's going to probably primarily be PC.
Cool. And in your an extra question that springs to mind in the last seconds here, as your kind of position as like art man, superhero, what is kind of like your shiniest baby within the game? What's the part that you're sort of most proud of that looks most fantastical?
I really like the ships. We had a great team building these ships. Our team has been fantastic. I really can't say enough about those guys. They all did a fantastic job. If you take a look at the ships on the website, we currently have just so many beautiful looking, very interesting, very distinct. You can tell the difference between a Romanov, and not just the difference between a Romanov and an Arkwright or an Osmani. You can also tell the difference between the different sizes of ships. You know, we wanted people to be able to visually look and say, okay, that's an Osmani battle cruiser, and they've got, you know, a weapons upgrade, and they've got a hangar bay. I better change my tactics so that I don't get in trouble.
So fantastic! You've really got that sort of visual recognition there, which is great and so useful in those sort of circumstances as well. We're excited about this. We are going to be covering this continually over and over and over until we're blue in the face, until we actually get to play around with it, because this is completely up our street.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
thank you so much for letting us check out the game, and as I say, you'll be seeing more of this soon.
All right, thank you.